You can project positively onto other people, and that is an awful thing, and I'm going to tell you why. You need to start to see people for who and what they are. Spending your entire life hoping and seeing the good in people when it's not there, when they have not shown it to you, will only expose you to more harm. So I think it's extremely important for you to get to the point where you start to see the actions and see the ways that people are treating other people, and most specifically how they're treating you. So the thing is, I saw this comment on a video and the person was doing something terrible. Actually, I remember it was Billie Eilish's concert. And I think this is pretty non-controversial before anyone gets to my neck. And then there's a man who grabbed this woman as she's performing at the barricades. And someone is like, I can't help but feel bad for him because he was recorded. That is a false projection, and it's positive projection because you're projecting positivity onto someone who's done something negative. The issue is when you have that empathy for someone who is perpetrating an action, you need to always prioritize a victim when having empathy. It's not if you don't have empathy. You're simply what's the word? You're simply involving yourself in a system that harms other people, and you're doing more harm than good. You don't have as much empathy as you think. If you have empathy for horrible and terrible things, I have news to tell you. And let's think about this interpersonally. We all want to see the best in people. We all want to see the best in people we love, but that's where it starts to go into delusion. A lot of what trauma and mental illness will do is make you delusional. We are delusional. Whether it's struggles with limerence, put the definition there, whether it's struggles with delusion overall, we will project things onto people or circumstances that are not there. It's just what it is. And especially when you start to live a plethora of different lives, as you go older, you live different lives. That's just the truth of the matter. When you grow up and live with your parents, you're different. When you're a teenager, you're different. You're in your 20s, you're different. When you're in your 30s, you're different. And you have to then meet different people. You have to meet, you have your school teachers, you have your university lecturers, you have your boss. You for most of us who are mentally ill and have lived through and in circumstances that most people don't have to live through, it can be very confusing to sort of like manage it all. What it was like in school, what it was like in uni, what it was like in that abusive relationship, what it was like with that abusive friend, and then you come out of it and then you're in a different circumstance, you're in a positive circumstance, and then you then blur the lines between what is real and what is not. Delusion is very real. As much as we can preach about negative projection and how we project our negativity onto others, we definitely, as a society, project positivity onto others, especially in relationships. You want to see the best in them, especially when you've had a long-term relationship with them. You want to see the best in your family. You want to see the best in your ex. You want to see the best in your abusive partner, but you need to see what has been presented in front of you. The most important part of being a good person is accountability and consistency. If you've noticed that there has been a pattern in the past where there have been positive and they've been positive to you and done kind things to you, and all of a sudden it stops and they don't take accountability for that, I hate to tell you this, that is manipulation. Good actions, good people are consistent. They slip up, they make mistakes, they slip and fall, but they're consistent with their actions and intentions towards you. This is a tough video, but it's important for people to understand that positive projection is very real. Positive projection, not only is it very real, it's very real in the way that it plays. It's like psychosis is not the word because I'm not a specialized like therapist or psychologist to kind of tell you what psychosis is. I've been through religious psychosis, but I can't say I've been through it in this certain circumstance. But I will say that it's a thing where you constantly feel and you constantly go through it, not seeing it the way other people see it. That's why when you're friends, and that's why everyone that loves you will tell you this person or that thing is not good for you. And you argue. There is no argument, babe. There is no argument because you are not seeing it the way other people see it. It's why it's important to take feedback. Take feedback on the work you do. Take feedback on the things, because when you become devoid of criticism, that's when you know you stepped into the pipeline of a positive projection. You can't have anyone critique what you're doing. You can't have anyone critique the person that you're in. If it's so good and so great, you would be able to analyze it. And analyzing, if you're doing a scientific study per se, you need other opinions. You need other sources of information to back up what it is you're saying. You can't go off of your own lens. It's why it's so important when you do things in life to collaborate with others, because two heads is better than one. And that's how you should start to see your life. That's why the people in your life are there to tell you he or she or they are toxic. You can positively project onto other people, and it's something that you need to avoid. Stop positive projection onto other people. It's not going to get you quite far. It's not. What happens when we project positivity onto people? It means that we have and we are admiring that person. We idealize them. One case on where you see that is with your parent. We can put stuff that isn't there. But at the end of the day, one thing you need to realize, what a relationship you have with your parent, your mom is just a girl and your dad is just a boy. They're just like us, and they seem to know better and have all the guidance and wisdom. In my last video, I said that the relationship between a parent and child is the biggest power and balance of all, because they have all the information, wisdom, and guidance to give to you, and usually you have nothing back. It is extremely imbalanced. And when you have someone or something like that, they are and can be a god to you even. And that's where it starts. That's how it starts. And it's so important to understand that humans are human beings. I don't care if it's a celebrity. I don't care if it's whatever. That's a person. They shit and poop and make flaws and poop and bleed and whatever the way that you do. You hear me? So it's so important to understand and see your own worth and value. And when you start to see your own worth and value and honestly pedestalize and idealize yourself and see all the positive things that people are saying about you and internalizing them, you will have more self-worth, and then you stop idealizing people that you don't know or that you that don't deserve it. It's okay to admire people. It's okay to look at them and have a sense of admiration and see them and see beautiful and wonderful things. But a huge part of that stems from an inadequacy with oneself, an inadequacy with the way someone's life is going. You are, and this is why I say starts with parents, you are such an important part of where your life goes. You are the most important part of where your life goes. Do not hand over. What it is basically you're doing is handing over, in some cases, your own autonomy and your own individuality over to someone else. Great, this person has inspired me. Great, this person may be the reason I even do what I do. Maybe they're a mentor, maybe they're an idol or whatever, but they're still a person. And you are still the person who's gotten you to where you want to. One thing I love is when you see a celebrity and the person says, "Oh, you saved my life." They're like, "No, you saved you. I was a vessel, or I was a tool to help you realize that, but you would have never done that on your own. No one made you." I hate that word. No one made you. No one, it's that narcissistic belief. No one made you who you are today. You did. They helped you. They pushed you along the way. They may have encouraged you, but no one made you who you are today. You are the reason you're standing there today. And if you give any credit to anyone or anything, it should be something up there. No human, at least. If you do whatever for religious reasons, kudos to you. But you are the reason you're here. Oops. You are the reason you're here. You are the reason you're standing here today. So the best thing I can say as I'm going to end the video is I encourage you to pour all the energy and all the positive aspirations and idealizations and pedestalizations that you have onto others, onto yourself. You will never regret it. You will never regret putting yourself as your display. You will never regret centering yourself. And I know that we fear that it may step into narcissism, but narcissism is not what you'll make it out to be. It's not something you fall into. Narcissism is a mental illness. So loving yourself and putting yourself on a pedestal and admiring yourself and holding yourself in high esteem will not magically make you a narcissist. It would not. especially given if you're the kind of person that I think you are. It's important to understand how important it is to see your own value, see your own worth, and be your own biggest fan. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. It's Asha Lovely Day telling you to have a lovely day. It's your medicine woman here. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my Patreon if you're interested. I love you so much. Thank you.
The Medicine Woman.